Well, good news, everyone. There's a new acronym in town, and it's the trendiest one on the market right now. The website Pop Sugar, where I go for all the most important news, has the story about those living the D-I-N-K lifestyle, Dink. So it says, quote, in the United States, a growing number of couples live a Dink lifestyle instead of the historically traditional family structure that includes having children, at least according to data. The Dink lifestyle, aka dual income, no kids, is generally used to describe a family where neither adult in the partnership has children and both are working paying jobs. According to the latest data from the U.S. Census Bureau, the number of adults living without children has increased by 19% since 1967. In addition, a 2021 Pew Research Center survey found 44% of non-parents between the ages of 18 and 49 say it's unlikely they will have children. The figure is up from 37% in 2018, indicating a growing trend of couples delaying having kids or foregoing them altogether. Several factors that contribute to the rise of the Dink lifestyle, including a delay in median age at the time of marriage, financial reasons, and shifts in life goals. Now, apparently, Dink isn't technically new. The acronym was coined, I guess, in the 80s, from what I understand, but has become more popular recently. And it's only further proof of the age-old saying that I just made up, which is this: just because you can make something into an acronym doesn't mean you should. Dink sounds like some kind of slur. It's like not a label that people willingly apply to themselves. Yet still, I must admit that the name seems to fit the people who have embraced it. This is one dumb, trendy acronym that I will happily use. If you want to be called a Dink, I will call you a Dink. In fact, from my brief research online, I discovered that there are subsets within the Dink community. For instance, I'm not making this up, there are people who apparently call themselves Dinkwads. Dual income, no kids, with a dog. Dinkwad. Once again, I concede that Dinkwad, okay, that the Dinkwads have chosen a name which fits them perfectly. Childless people with dogs. Dinkwads. That's what you want to identify yourself as. I will happily call you that. And I will encourage others to do the same. So going back to the article, we're given more specific information about these Dinks and Dinkwads. It says, quote, like any partnership and family structure, the Dink lifestyle isn't a one-size-fits-all term. Instead, couples come to live the Dink lifestyle for various reasons. Jay Zigmont, PhD, and founder of Child Free Wealth in Water Valley, Mississippi, tells Pop Sugar, for Zigmont and his wife, the Dink lifestyle provided more flexibility in creating a life that works best for them, which he's also seen with many of his clients. Zigmont says that in his experience, those who choose to live a Dink lifestyle do so for three main reasons. They never wanted children, they are focused on financial wellness, and they desire freedom. There was another recent article, this one on Yahoo, and written by a Dink, and it goes into more detail about the reasons why the Dinks decide to be such Dinks. It says, quote, we've all seen the memes and even the bumper stickers, colorful displays proclaiming I'm a funkle, or celebrating being mom to fur babies only. There are countless ways some share that they're enthusiastically certain they're living their best life thanks to being child-free. And once these happy souls, of which I am one, find a partner, there's another term that comes into play, Dink. I'm a proud Dink. My husband and I are both in our late 30s and have chosen the Dink life. And no, we aren't those married to our career types. While we both enjoy success in our fields, we enjoy a deep bond that I can't imagine would be possible if I had to give so much of myself to caring for a child. We are not selfish individuals, but instead selfish with the time we have together for the sake of our relationship. We're then given other examples from the Dink community to show that there are many and varied reasons why a Dink might choose to be a Dink. It says, in recent times, I've discovered that we're not alone. In addition to circles of friends that share this similar mindset, there's an entire online community dedicated to removing the pressures and stigmatism surrounding the subject. Danaya Casalas, a 33-year-old microbiologist and online fitness coach, resides in Florida with her partner. Together, they've created a space, and a safe and inspiring space on Instagram for others like them to share the daily, humorous, and often reluctant encounters they face as Dinks. Quote, I knew in my early 20s that I for sure had no desire to have kids, Casellas tells Yahoo Life. I don't get excited over babies, but I'm good with kids. I have a silly personality and enjoy being around them, but taking on the huge responsibility of raising someone just doesn't appeal to me. I was told I was crazy, selfish, and that I would regret it. I'm now 33, child-free, and living my best life. The best life she speaks of, Casella spent years living in New York City on a journey of self-discovery, and she and her partner now enjoy the spontaneity that Dink life brings, like making last-minute dinner plans, playing in soccer leagues, and taking trips to Universal Studios Orlando. Now, Every example in the article is like this. It turns out that there are not actually many and varied reasons why people become dinks. All the reasons are basically the same. They want more money, they want more time to go on vacation, and they want fewer responsibilities. And that basically sums it up. It is rather revealing that even in these propaganda pieces, and I've read a lot of them, designed to promote the child-free life, rarely do you hear about someone who uses their, quote, freedom to go on great heroic adventures, nor do you hear about them devoting their free time to serving their communities, nor any other worthy pursuit. Instead, they just buy more stuff, and they take sad little childless trips to theme parks, and they eat at restaurants more often. So they dedicate themselves to being more active and more loyal consumers, in other words. That's what it always comes down to. They choose to not have kids so that they can consume more and become more devoted consumerists. Look your best this holiday season with Genucel skincare. Now, through Christmas, Genucel's most popular package is 70% off. This includes 2 months worth of Genucel's best sellers, plus their hyaluronic, let's call it, acid serum free with your purchase. My producer McKenna uses Genucel under eye treatment to help her get rid of the bags under her eyes. Genucel uses a proprietary base with clinical levels of botanical extracts, which come together to yield amazing results. Genucel products are natural, cruelty-free, and made in the USA. Treat yourself and a loved one to the skincare that will take years off your skin. Watch those forehead wrinkles, fine lines, skin redness, pesky bags, and puffiness disappear right before your eyes with Genucel's most popular collection. You'll see immediate effects in less than 12 hours, guaranteed, or your money back. So visit Genucel.com/Walsh. Use code Walsh for an additional 10% off your order. Plus, every order is instantly upgraded to free express shipping. That's Genucel.com/Walsh, Genucel.com/Walsh. For all the high-minded theoretical talk about what a child-free, quote-unquote, life could free a person up to do, this is what they actually do. This is what it actually means. They're not trudging through unexplored parts of the Amazon or inventing a cure for cancer or building homes for poor villagers in Namibia or whatever. They are rather far more focused on entertaining themselves, and their adventures of exploration will generally be relegated to tourist spots that have already been explored by approximately 900 million people before them. That's the reality. And this is the problem with the Dink life. One of the problems, anyway. And we must, as always, stipulate, though it should be clear by now, that we're talking about couples who choose not to have children. Okay, not those who want to but are unable. The issue is the lifestyle choice. And the first way you can tell that a lifestyle choice is problematic is by extending its logic as far as it will go. So the Dinks say that Dink life is good and noble and it's wonderful and all that. Something to be proud of. Yet, if everyone chose to be Dinks, human civilization would quickly collapse. And in less than a century, our species would go extinct. So if everyone chose to be Dinks like today, within 20 years, there is no civilization anymore. It collapses. It's so top heavy that it would just fall over on itself. And a few more decades, it's extinct. So if your lifestyle choice can only be adopted by a relatively small percentage of the most privileged members of the human race, or else civilizational catastrophe would ensue, that's a pretty good indication that there's something wrong with your lifestyle choice. Okay? And that applies across the board. If your lifestyle choice cannot be adopted by very many people, or else it will destroy the human race, then there's probably something wrong. At the very least, it proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that your lifestyle is not one we should recommend. Because again, if too many people took us up on the recommendation, the human race disappears. So there are those who are doing the work to ensure that our race survives and thrives, and there are those more interested in taking trips to Universal Studios. Those two choices are not equal by any objective measure. But the truth is that the Dink approach does plenty of damage even before it can get to the point of causing a mass extinction event. The point is that when we encourage people to get married and have children, we are encouraging them to look towards the future and to live lives of love and service. Not every parent is going to, live up to this calling, of course. You could be a parent and still be a selfish SOB, that's for sure. But at least as a culture, we are pointing people in the right direction. The other option is to point people towards lives centered around themselves, their own comfort, luxury, entertainment. That's no way to build or maintain a thriving society. And on an individual level, it's a recipe for a life that, while comfortable, is ultimately empty and purposeless. The consequence of being sentient, self-aware, relatively intelligent creatures is that we cannot help but search for meaning. No other creature, as far as we know, on Earth is bothered by this detail. So great white sharks aren't reflecting on the meaning of it all as they hunt and devour a seal. Ants aren't wondering what it all means as they swarm over a melting popsicle left in the pavement. Only we are left with these questions, and we cannot escape them. And what we find ultimately is that momentary pleasures and amusements cannot satisfy our need and longing for meaning. They can only distract us from them, but not forever, not for long. Family life gives us purpose and meaning. And even that isn't ultimate meaning in and of itself. Our ultimate meaning, our ultimate purpose is to know God, love Him, and serve Him. But family life points us in that direction, towards the eternal and the transcendental. It grounds us in something that goes beyond, transcends self-service and self-satisfaction. And the cost of that is that we can't take as many vacations. But that is a price well worth paying. And it's why today, I must say, both the Dinks and the Dinkwads are canceled. That'll do it for this portion of the show as we move over to the members block. Hope to see you there. If not, talk to you tomorrow. Godspeed.